All right, everybody. Thanks for coming to the 1% Club. My name is Steve Hillier. Brent is with Pace Morby right now in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So he has asked me to come on and just do a little dialogue with you guys and share some tips. So I'm pretty excited about this. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't. I'm in Brent's office. Brent is my brought me into the EXP world. And just to start with, my background real quickly, been in real estate since 19 somewhere, long time ago, 19. Marguerite's laughing at me.
Hey, let me do it for you, Steve. Let me edify you properly. Let me edify you. So Steve Hillier is a broker. He's been in this business a long, long time. Very, very successful. Top producer for many, many years. Broker building a real estate brokerage. Well over 200 plus agents with multiple locations in Northern California before EXP. And actually before that brokerage on another rewarding opportunity company that's no longer around, he became the #1 recruiter in the entire company. And it was a big, big deal, like big deal. And he's an absolute recruiting rock star, super humble. Family man, will give you the shirt off his back. He's a total servant's heart, and we're blessed to have him. And as Marguerite says, bad A.
Thanks, guys. Anyways, I hope I can bring something positive to what you guys are all doing. Appreciate you, Matt. And I might have a haircut like that here pretty soon. I'm going to see if I can spice it up. But first, part of the topic, guys, is bold. Bold trail. That's part of what I want to share with you guys today. Brent doesn't go into the details too much, but I want to share with you guys best practices for me in recruiting and just give you some of my thoughts. And hopefully Alex Dyer, I don't know if you've been able, Alex, have you been able to jump on? When Alex has a jump on, I'll introduce him. But here's really the main thing for you guys. I'm going to share some thoughts about how I recruit and how I would suggest our best practices. But first and foremost, if you're going to recruit, do it with value. Period. If you're recruiting for any other purpose but to bring value to that particular agent, you're missing the mark. And think of it when you're at an open house. Do you just pound them and say, sign in, do the sign in sheet and give me your number and email? It's not real effective until you build a relationship. So you have to earn that position. So ask questions about how you can help them. These are really important questions because if an agent comes to you and they immediately give you some feedback on where they need assistance, you got something to build upon. And if you're not starting the recruiting conversation about their production, what's going on in their business, they're not probably understanding because they're going to think the call is about you and that you want to recruit them to your team. So I just don't lead with that type of message. Anyways, and on other elements of this, we now have this amazing co-sponsor platform. Now, I don't know if I could open up for everyone to comment on this, but I'm starting to really embrace this co-sponsor. I think we've done 12 of them. I recommend picking a local co-sponsor, multiple local co-sponsors, so that you can have the best of both worlds. So if you have someone that's really excellent in one topic, you can kind of pair them up. Now, locally, I really love to work with Tom Daves, Matthew Stewart. We have a great relationship doing good stuff. Clark is a master at the co-sponsor. All of us have to know that is a unique thing about EXP and learn it. Learn it, understand why that sets us apart better than almost anything that we have in our comp plan. Now, I learned a good lesson the other day. On our comp plan, when you talk to people, we have, 2 copycats out there? And I wish on my website, I have the company PowerPoint when it shows we've done 350,000 transactions and then the next 5 brokers. Do you guys realize the top 250 agents in EXP are the 5th largest real estate company in America? Our top 250 agents are bigger than Real. And obviously, 4 times bigger than LPT in these different types of opportunities. So you kind of know a little bit about fundamental math. So I'm going to share a stat with you real quick. And I lead with this when the conversation's about, I need to join a Compass. I need to join these other types of opportunities. Know your competition is really a pretty big part of the whole equation. And I don't know, this is a couple years ago, and I might ask Clark to take himself off mute. Clark, do you have the current stats of what the current, how many millions it took to run the machine, EXP machine last year? Because I think we got numbers from 2 years ago.
I don't know what it took to run it last year, but I know that it took it would take a company that's starting today $100 million just to get up the systems up and running, and then another $100 million to run it. That's a quote from Glenn Sanford.
Right. Outside that, I think it was 2 years ago. All in, our overhead was $691 million. But compare that to the big giants. We'll just pick on Compass, pick on Anywhere Real Estate. They're running like $8 to $9 billion a year in overhead to run those brick and mortar behemoths, and we're 12 times less in overhead, and we're doing twice as many sales. If you're not sharing some of that data with the agents that you're talking with, you're not really breaching the bigness of what EXP is. I mean, honestly, we're doing twice the volume of the number 2 company in America, and we have at least 10 times less overhead. And that's a question I leave my guest or whoever agent I'm talking with, I leave them with that thought. And it goes like this. Hey, Clark, and I'll role play with you, Clark. Hey, Clark, did you realize that, Anywhere Real Estate and Compass and the big giants out there, they have roughly $7, $8, $9 billion in overhead to run them big brick and mortar companies?
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's huge. It's enormous. And it is a problem. About 10 years ago, EXP completely changed the business model. And they came in and they said, we're not going to have brick and mortar. We're going to do it a little bit differently. And COVID came along and it forced us all to learn this new way of business. And I believe EXP wouldn't even be where it is without COVID. But setting that aside, did you realize that the EXP's overhead is about $691 million last year, or at least 2 years ago when you saw it? Did you know that, Clark?
Did not.
Okay. Well, I just want to leave this thought with you before we get off the call. If you're going to choose a place to work, it's good to understand the foundation. It's good to understand the inner workings of what's going to pay you if you're going to spend the time to build a company. It's going to take some effort to build this. So in the event a company has 10 times more overhead than EXP and doing half the sales, which one's going to win the day?
Low overhead.
That's right. That's my closing comment when I'm talking. Clark's heard me say it over and over. That's what I share with people to end a conversation, because I want them to think, wow, maybe I'm not interested in Real. Maybe I'm not interested in LPT. Well, maybe Compass isn't the right way. And I had a conversation the other day about Compass merging with Anywhere Real Estate, all the conglomerates. And they were saying, well, they're gonna have this big presence. And I says, okay. So they went ahead and leveraged themselves and borrowed an enormous amount of money to grow. And now you have a company that say, we're number 2 now, but we have no debt. Which one? And we're running at least 10 times less overhead. Don't you think we're going to catch them and exceed them? And the answer is yes, we will. So I address some of these big elephants in the room. But another thing outside picking your local sponsor, it's really important to have something that duplicates. From a pure recruiting standpoint, you guys, I've recruited hundreds and hundreds of agents over the years. And the number one thing that I have found to be successful is a pattern. If you don't have a pattern in your recruiting, your team, your support group, your organizational structure, they're all using a pattern. So you have to find the pattern. First off, what is the introduction video? The model explained in our case. Find out what that number 1 introduction video is and try not to be the message. I did a nice talk for Sean Struck the other day. What an amazing guy, by the way. He's an awesome guy. I don't even know if he's on the call, but he's a top-notch fella. And what we were trying to coin a topic for the little podcast, and it was really use the tools, not your good looks. I know I'm a handsome fella, but don't personally try to use your good looks. Don't try to woo agents into EXP. Simply put the tools in front of them. Clark is a master, and I constantly refer to Clark and his expertise, which actually a lot of you guys don't know this. When I was 18 years old, my business mentor was Clark Brim. So I really have a great affinity and I appreciate him. But use your team's organization. There will be an introduction video 1. There will be a second video. There will be a third video. What are they? Go get them. Go put them and queue them up. Make sure you've got them handy. And if you're taking someone through the process of recruiting, all it is what's next. So when you leave the conversation with them, leave them something that you can follow up with. That's a very important piece. Give them a piece of information to look at and have a time to call them back to talk about it. And just do it relentlessly until they join or they tell you, quit calling me. So those are some high priorities that I'd like to touch on. So think about this. If you've done the process and you've taken them through the video 1, video 2, video 3, we personally, and I'd encourage you guys can go to my team's site, newvisionexp.com. We don't use a www, but newvisionexp.com. And in the resources and marketing section, you will find our recruiting pattern. We run a 12-week pattern, a 12-week challenge, if you will. It's part of how we recruit. So we talk to agents about their progress and how they're doing in production. But then I end it with, well, we'd love to invite you here. And here's why. Now, we ran our 12-week program and everyone here is welcome to join it. But we took 10 agents. We actually had 13, but 10 really only plugged in. And they did kind of like an average of 3 transactions each. And at the end of 3 cycles, we'd closed 102 escrows with that group. And we have that as a pattern that we can show the agents if production's their concern. We say, well, great, here's a 12-week program that we use, and you guys can use it also. You can use our 12-week program. Go onto our website. It's all laid out in the resources and marketing. The last tab, you'll see it, 12-week challenge. And it's really a fascinating thing. You sit with an agent and say, would you like to be part of this kind of an accountability group? And the answer is they would. Now, what I'm trying to point out to you guys is that I'm probably Clark and a lot of people on the call are in my team.
Steve, you went through that website really fast. People are asking what the website was again.
We'll put it in the chat.
Awesome.
Or actually, Alex Dyer, put it in the chat.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring Alex in a second here. You guys, eXp's got such strong tools. You got to use them in your recruiting steps. Like I mentioned, what are your first 3 tools? We like to take people to our team website to just show them some of the resources. And one of the reasons we have that site, and I think a lot of your uplines and a lot of your team leads have these, but it's a place you can go where 1 or 2 clicks and you can show the bigness of the technology that eXp is offering. In fact, hey Rob, can I show people my screen? Is that something I can do?
Yes, you're a co-host. Yep.
Okay, let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, just a quick comment, Steve. I just talked to Brent. He updated the first video just this last weekend.
That's awesome. Thank you for that.
So you may have to refresh your browser when you watch it again, but it's been updated.
Okay, Clark, can you see the New Vision inner circle?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, so everybody, this is really how I start my recruiting. I like to play the little Attractify video and then Brent's model explained. So up here in resources and marketing, here's our 12-week challenge. So when I show someone the 12-week challenge, it's more of me talking about how they can crank up their business. And it's right there in front of you. You can talk about it. But going down here, some of the things that we offer in our 12-week challenge, this was the proof. We took 10 agents and we closed 102 escrows when those 10 agents did an average of 30 transactions last year. We tripled their business. This is just showing proof of results. So why would somebody want to join you? What value are you going to bring them? So when you take them to this kind of a place and give them an opportunity to join a 12-week challenge, it's kind of intoxicating. It's fun. Over here in attraction, here's the piece that I like to point people. And this is a company PowerPoint, guys. This is just using the tools, not your good looks, okay? So when I click into this is the company PowerPoint. If you guys don't have access to this, you got to get access to it. It's pretty, I'll send it to whoever wants it. But in this, I like to quickly go down to right here. And then I want to stop and talk. This is where I have that conversation about our overheads roughly 10 times less than the big giants out there. And I say, look, Compass, Anywhere, okay, let's say they merge. They're now going to be bigger than us, but they're carrying so much debt. They're just this big fat ship that's about to sink. And then I go down to the top 250 agents, which I'm blessed to be part of. Been in the top 250 top 50 the last 4 years, and our top 250 players are the 5th largest real estate company in America. That is a huge statement, but this is right in lights. Okay, all I'm doing is using a PowerPoint and pointing out some of the things that this prospective agent I'd really like them to learn, and then I point down at real brokerage, which everybody's getting talked to about. Why? Just like eXp better. Really? Are you sure? Are you sure? You need to understand why they took off levels 6 and 7. You know why they did that? Oops, can't pay it. This is the truth, huh, Clark? And then you go down to LPT, there's little peanuts. Okay. And they're running all kinds of crazy programs that are not sustainable. And I don't know if this is exactly something Glenn would state, but it's my position. It's what I believe. I believe if COVID didn't come along, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to force all of us salespeople to learn a more virtual approach to real estate where EXP would become an acceptable choice. Now, we got no COVID coming our way anytime recently, God willing. So these other copycat brokers, how are they going to get that massive punch that we got? Maybe, maybe not. And I want good competition. You should want it too. We want these companies to survive for health for all of us. But in reality, they're going to come and go. Then I spin down here. If I do want to top on the 250 teams, that's helpful. This is another place I stop. This is using the tools. This is a one-stop shop where I can say, look, we basically have 5 buckets when we want to share with you the benefits of what EXP has. And I just encourage you guys, go compare this to your own brokerage and see what kind of value they're bringing. We have a great virtual world for support. We use Sisu, and on our 12-week challenge, it's mandatory. We're radical about using Sisu. And anyone that would like to learn how to use Sisu, please check our 12-week program out and join it. We run it 4 days a week from 11 to 12 PST, Pacific Standard Time. Then the Canva account. I ask agents. This is a comment that I ask every time in a recruiting. I go, hey, do you like Canva? They're like, I love Canva. Canva's amazing. Oh, okay. You're paying for it? Oh, well, we're going to go ahead and give that to you for free. What I'm doing is just sort of chinking the armor. And so we use SkySlope, right? But we use SkySlope. Oh, okay. Well, if they're with Remax or some of the other brands, they have to pay a small fee. We don't. Okay. A little chink in the armor. And then I'll ask directly the CRM, hey, do you guys get a CRM of your choice with EXP? We have 3 different choices. We use Bold Trail, Lofty, and Closey. Are you familiar with any of those? And it's more of a dialogue about how. Now this, I'll go ahead and stop this share, jump over, stop share. So, and I'm going to bring on Alex Dyer here in a second. So Alex, you might take yourself off mute. Here's what I want to share with you guys before we, go too much. I have a couple minutes left with you guys, but when you're recruiting, know your tools, like I just said. Know, the ones that your upline's using. Don't create a pattern. Just follow the pattern. Constantly invite agents to the next meeting you're going to. And we have here Thursday, we have a great training at our local board of realtors that Brent set up. But wherever you are in your market, you're going to have trainings. Okay. And they're going to be hopefully scheduled. You should constantly be inviting agents to come to those trainings. And that's, if you go to a training, you go alone, you're not taking your real estate business very seriously, because part of our income streams are inviting other agents to know what we're part of. One of the number one recruiting tools we do for our team, and like I said, my mega team qualifies in the top 50. It has for the last 4 years. We made it as high in the 30s this year, but it's only a fleeting moment before we got bumped back up into the 40s. So we do Bold Trail training every Friday morning. It's at 10 a.m. We've been doing it for about 4 years. Alex Dyer, one of my best friends in the world and a trainer on our team, he, he'll tell the story here quickly for him, but hurt himself a few years back, and he became an expert at KV Core. And KV Core as a company recognizes Alex as one of the top 10 trainers in America for KV Core. Not a small feat. He knows the system super well. It's been really effective for him. But on Friday morning, we invite agents to come to that training for 30 minutes. It's from 10 to 10:30. And then we do a 15-minute Q&A. Now, here's the purpose. We want to teach people the database. But when I'm talking to an agent, I might ask, this is most agents will say, yeah, I'm not databasing as well as I should. And 95% of agents, it might not be exactly this, don't database. Fools. I might be one of them before Alex forced me into this process. But 95% of the sales, I would venture to say, Matt, would you concur? Mr. Stewart, 95% of the sales are done by 5% of the agents. I mean, we're not really an 80-20. Tahoe Tony's taking them all up in Tahoe for us, huh, Tony? We appreciate it. Send him any referrals up there, guys. He's awesome. So I got a little spun out on that one, Clark. What was I talking about there, Matthew?
Oh, you were talking about how it's a small percentage of realtors that actually do the majority of the business.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, thank you. So because the disparagement is so high, if you have a conversation about databasing, immediately it's going to say, I'm not really doing as well as I could. Well, great. Do you know about Bold Trail? Matthew, do you know about Bold Trail?
I've heard about that. Is that KV Core or is that something?
Yeah, it got rebranded. I think they picked up Boomtown and they merged them.
Oh.
And what we do is we train every Friday morning, and I'd like to invite you to come and learn the database. And if it makes sense, and I'm upfront, I say the reason I'd like to invite you is that if what we're doing in our systems makes sense, we'd like to consider maybe you joining our team. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's a great question.
We're radical. What's that, Matthew?
That's a great question. Is that fair? That's
I love
it. That's one of my faves.
Thank you. Yeah. So Alex, if you could jump on right now, what we're doing, guys. Alex, I wanted him to share a little bit about Bold Trail, a little bit about the Friday trainings, because we want to invite all of you guys to attend it. It's on Brent's local calendar. When you go to his website, it's a posted training for anybody to join. And we're going to cover 30 minutes of what we call plays. So I'm going to turn that over to Alex. Alex, if you wouldn't mind explaining a little to the team what the plays are and what they can get from the Friday trainings and why it's a powerful recruiting tool.
Yeah. So thank you. Thanks for having me on. I started Bold Trail a few years back purely by accident. Funny story, I was on a bad accident on my road bike, and I was laid up for the better part of 3 months, and I had to do something. So I learned how to use Bold Trail CRM. At the time, it was KV Core. I'll jump on a screen share. I'll be so bold.
We got about 3 minutes, Alex.
Yeah. And so on Bold Trail, what we do is we cover a different topic related to the platform each week. And we put all those recordings in my classroom on School. And we just started a 13-week series on the basics of it. From a recruiting standpoint, it's very powerful because if you have an agent out there that you're trying to bring into our network, you can plug them into this training, and I have all the recordings here. And in addition to that, I get calls throughout the week, not only for recruiting calls, but also agents who are using the platform and they're just stuck. They're stuck and they're like, what do I do? Well, I know the platform so well that I answer most questions within 5 minutes over the phone. So it's one of those tools that we have available to us that has it's been helpful for me in growing my business. I mean, I'm off to the best year I've ever had right now, and it's a carryover from all the work that I put into Bold Trail over the last couple of years. Just the momentum that I have building is amazing. And like I say, Steve uses me on recruiting calls on a very consistent basis where you will have an agent that's really focused on, hey, how am I going to manage my business when I make that move over to EXP? And I'm there as a resource for you guys. I have a team that was recruited. I think Brent actually recruited them, but it's a group of 6 agents locally that have come over, and now they're engaging with me to do one-on-one training with their team for the next 8 weeks. I do charge a fee for it. You know, my time is valuable, and you know, the 5 years of work that I put into this is really what I get paid for on it. Moving forward into 26, I am launching a premium paid for platform. And it's going to have more in-depth AI content integrated with the platform. But what I'm most excited about is having my social media networking Zoom call where we all jump on the same Zoom call. And when you post your social media content, we all jump on it at that point in time, and we like, share, and comment on it. That way we boost the ranking of all of our social media content. So that's launching here this month. So that's what I got.
Real quick, Alex, if you could grab the invite link for the School platform. I just want everyone to have an opportunity in the chat if they'd like to join the School platform. Now, even though there will be a small fee in the middle of the year when there's some additional services are out, it's a free thing to be part of, and it's free right now. So we'd like to invite all of you guys to join the School platform and use it as a recruiting tool. Use it as a local event, a meeting, if you will, a local type of event. Anyways, you can stop your screen share, Alex.
And Steve, just in case you want to do a Q&A, Verl doesn't come until 2:10, so we got some time.
Okay, we might do a little Q&A on that just to be real specific on how to recruit with Bold Trail, but realize 95% of the agents need help. They are in a death spiral of frustration. People are not individually teaching agents to database. Now you can be that solution. Remember I said add value when you recruit, talk with somebody, figure out where the hole in their business is. I would say inevitably it's going to be databasing.
Yeah, I sit with agents all week long and talk about databasing, and some of the most productive agents I've seen out there, they're not databasing right now. And the tools that we have put in place, we can fix that problem.
Yeah. And recruiting, you guys, everybody seems to have had their organization contract. Ours is not contracted at all. In fact, we have grown where everyone else is not growing. I think we're at 235 agents today or something like that. But each agent that joins, we really would like to encourage them be part of this database training and invite other agents to be part of it. I found it to be probably the most efficient, easiest conversation to have with salespeople because they're hurting. They're not doing what they need to do. And we teach plays, don't we, Alex?
Yeah, we teach plays, and what the plays are they're focused on production, on specific actions you can do within your existing database to really keep in touch with them and foster them, and just generally remind people that you're an agent, you're out there, and you're active. And that's really what the plays are focused on.
So explain the cotton play to them.
Yeah, so the cotton play, when we started with Bold Trail, it was a manual play where you would take a complete contact, which is defined by myself as name, address, phone number, and email. So that's complete contact. And then you turn on certain automations. You turn on a equity report that's within the system. You turn on a market update, which is just a general market update that's generated through the system. And you just have those 2 points of contact that are automated throughout the month that just pings on them and reminds them that you're out there. And what we found is that if you just limit your contact to just those couple of contacts each month, those couple of pings, if you will, the opt-out rate is very, very low on the communication through the CRM. There's a lot of discoveries that we've made within the CRM about the overuse on it, and we talk about that and we educate on that as well. But that's the cotton play. It's just, hey, here's your market report, here's your equity report, just reminding people that you're out there.
And I'm going to challenge everybody, if you really want to make this thing light on fire, I challenge agents. I said, look, would you like to increase your listings by 10 next year? Would you like to have 10 additional listings? And they're like, well, of course I would. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell all of you guys on the call right now how to use Bold Trail to get 10 more listings next year. And how you do it is you put 200 full clients on the cotton play. Yeah. That's an equity report and a CMA. So they're looking at their market report and they're looking at evaluation of their house every 28 days. And you can see them look at that report. So if you have 200 people having that report sent out and there's a 4% opt-out, that is not a difficult thing to keep at 200 plus. Okay. If you got a 40% opt-out rate because you're pounding it with all kinds of campaigns, that's a different conversation. But I challenge everybody, come to our Friday training. Let us teach you the cotton play. Don't do anything beyond that. Just set it up and work on building the cotton play, building it up to 200 contacts, and you watch them. Watch the ones that look at it. And those are the people you make outbound communications with to try to let them know you can be there to help them list their house for sale. They're already looking at your information. Okay. Start there. And man, and when I sit down and I'm recruiting an agent, I say, let me challenge you. They're like, well, I did 4 deals last year. Okay. Well, would you like to do 14? Would you like to have 10 additional listings? Well, you don't even have it a chance if you don't even have people raising their hands that you can call. You got to filter through so many people. Bold Trail filters them for you. And I think we're right at 2. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop it open just to a couple Q&A until Verl pops on. So anybody throw some questions out there or raise your hand. I'll try to get with you. If you have any questions about our training, about how, maybe Alex and I to help you close people, recruit people, because we'd love to invite you to be part of our community. Like I said, Brent put it up on his calendar, on his website as one of the ones he likes to promote, because we're literally teaching you how to use this Ferrari. All right, who do we got for questions? Am I not seeing this? I just say take yourself off mute and talk with me if you have any questions about it. Well, Rob, I think that hopefully they got enough information from us.
There were some questions in the chat about the 12.
I got a question, Steve.
Go ahead, Matt.
So I'm a recruit. I don't use Bold Trail or KV Core or whatever, but maybe I have another CRM, but I'm not really actively using as much as I should, but in my mind and motions, I'm committed to that. I'm using it. But now you are looking to attract me over to EXP, and you mentioned this Bold Trail. How would you handle that?
Well, Matthew, I would encourage you to keep using it and use both tools until you realize the one that's the best. Because it is a $500 a month tool and you get it for free. So, I mean, if you want to stay in the Toyota, it's okay. Toyotas run good, but Ferraris are better.
Cool. I love it. Thanks.
Hey, I just want to interject one thing here. When you're recruiting and you're talking about using Bold Trail, I've run into some situations recently where agents have come over to EXP from another brokerage, and the right expectation as to what that looks like really hasn't been set up, and it leads to a point of frustration that, oh, this really wasn't explained to me. So I encourage you guys all, when you're recruiting that agent and the subject of databasing does come up, reach out to me with questions. I had an agent that was in the middle of recruiting a new team member on, and they reached out to me and had very specific questions about what it means to go from their existing private Bold Trail account over to the EXP version. Setting up the right expectation will lead to a lot smoother transition coming over. And I'll take 15 minutes with you guys to address that, because I'm finding more and more that those issues are coming to me, which I have no problem taking care of. But if we do our homework on the front end, we can control that expectation much better.
Thank you, Alex. We got Verl jumping on right now. So I got one question from Howard Dobbins. So Howard, fire away. What's your question?
Hey, I'll try to be quick. I was trying to use a ringless voicemail, and Bold Trail was trying to. They was like, oh well, you can't use that other than anybody else's. But I have Lofty too, and Lofty allows me to do that. And then my next question is, I don't know how to integrate that, and I have spent hours trying to find somebody to help me, and they won't do it at Bold Trail. The next question I have is, there was a guy at EXPCon in Miami that was doing a AI interactive with your leads, text back and forth, trying to stir up some, I guess, dead leads or people at different times during the day and evening time. Is that capability? Because I know enough to be dangerous, and I came from a brokerage that was like run by 90-year-olds, and I'll be 90 sooner or later, but I just didn't like that. And I really liked Bold Trail and what it was before, but I just struggle. So.
Well, I'm not even sure how to answer those questions, but Alex, I'll turn it over, but Verl has jumped on, so we got to be quick.
All right.
Go ahead, Alex. Can you handle those questions?
So just real quick, ringless voicemail doesn't really, it's not on the platform right now.
It is. They want you to pay for it though, and I've got somebody else.
So
they have a paid version.
There's a paid version, but it doesn't come with your platform. So I haven't played with that tool yet. And then as far as the bot goes, I know they're working on that feature right now for a chat bot, but I haven't seen it roll out yet.
Okay. What time Fridays?
10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
10 a.m. Pacific?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm going to put it. I'll put it in the chat right now. But it's Zoom with AlexDyer.com. But like I said, it's on Brent's site on the published weekly meetings. We just encourage everybody, come and learn KV Core or Bold Trail now, and come and learn to recruit with it, because the agents you do recruit that plug into it become very productive agents.